Hello my YouTube family, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today as a celebration of hitting the 30,000 subscriber mark, my YouTube family keeps growing and growing and growing, and I'm so happy that you're part of it. I'm doing a Q&A. I've been promising you guys to do a Q&A and reached out to you on YouTube and Instagram, letting you know that I was going to do a Q&A and asking you guys for questions. And I can't believe how many of you guys sent in your questions. Before I get personal with you guys and answer some of your questions, I have a question for you. You guys have been so great at following along with my design journey and my entrepreneurial journey. You've been so great at watching all of my YouTube videos, which I so appreciate and love, so thank you so much. And my question for you is, if I were to go to TV, like let's say HGTV or W Network or something like that, if I were to go to television and do a TV show of some sort, most likely design related, would you watch me on TV? So yes or no, or do you love YouTube and do you love watching me here more? Let me know in the comments below. I'm so curious to know what your answer is to that question. So let's jump into the questions. We're gonna go deep. I'm gonna answer as many as I can in about a half an hour period. And we're gonna get personal here too. Well, depends on you guys, depends on the kind of questions you guys ask. This is a question that came in through YouTube by Leticia Maciel. So what's the most common mistake that I see aspiring interior designers make? Young designers or junior designers often mistake their great sense of style or their great eye for design, they mistake that as experience. Experience and having an eye for design and style is not the same thing. And experience is super, super valuable in the design field, in the interior design field, because there's so many things to learn from a construction standpoint, from doing construction drawings, dealing with clients, working with contractors, how to build out a space, the technical aspect of just construction itself, and how your design gets imagined and then actually implemented into a space. It takes years to learn that. So I often see junior designers or young designers come to the table thinking they know everything just because they've got great style. And it's true, they might have great style or a great eye for design, but that is not the same thing as having experience. And so for any of you guys who are young designers or who are just getting into the field, I would be really, really patient with your career because it takes time, a long time, to gain that experience. So this is also a question from YouTube. This comes from Stephanie Doe, and she asks, "Hi Karen, I've been trying to work out your ethnic background and can't seem to put my finger on it." I get asked this question all the time. I think I may have even answered this before in a Q&A, but I'll answer it again. My background is German Chinese. My mom is from China and my dad is German, so I am a mix, completely half and half German Chinese. So this question comes from Instagram, and this is from Toro May, and she asks, "I'm really inspired by your work and building your company from the ground up. I also aspire to be an interior designer one day. What would you consider the most difficult part in your day-to-day while being a business owner of an interior design company?" Okay, Toro, I think that's a great question. The most difficult part of my day-to-day is probably just juggling all the moving parts that need to happen when you are a business owner. So I have to take care of things like oversee design, do client management, do prospecting, sales, HR. I have to meet with staff all the time, make sure that they're happy. I have to make sure that there's work always coming in the door. I have to make sure that when the drawings are going out the door that I'm upholding a certain quality standard. I am also doing all the work that I do on social media with my personal brand. And now I am starting to develop prints because I want to put together a print line. And I would say the toughest thing about my job is just wearing all those hats and having to shift gears constantly throughout the day. So instead of just focusing on one task, like editing or doing design work, and being able to do that for an entire day, there's probably 8 different meetings or 10 different things that I'm juggling throughout one day, and that can be really tiring. This question also comes from Instagram, and this question is by Zuli Ruby. She asks, "Hi Karin, when you hire people, what platform do they use so that you can view their work? What do you mainly look for in people so that they work at your company?" Zuli, I think that's a great question because I am all about hiring great people that fit with our company culture. I'm actually more concerned about the type of person that comes into the company and whether they're a good person, whether they've got raw talent, and if they are hardworking and loyal. Those are the kind of people that I'm looking for. But of course, if I'm hiring for something like an interior design role, then I'm always careful to review their portfolio. Like, I want to know what kind of work that they put together. But I'll give you a tip. If you're putting together your work and you want a future employer to see your portfolio, whatever you do, don't pull photography from your existing or your past employer and put that into your portfolio, okay? Because that is like stealing. So don't take photos off the website and put them in your own portfolio. Don't do stuff like that. I respect a person who is looking to work with me if they reference their previous employer's work or their previous employer's website, if they tell me, what their role was, maybe in a particular project. I totally get it. But as soon as I see professional photography from your previous employer's website in your portfolio, that is always a turnoff because you didn't pay for those photos. They are not your photos. You don't own them. And I understand that you want to make your portfolio look great. I get it, but you're gonna have to find ways to do that on your own, meaning taking your own photos or finding ways that you can incorporate that finished work into your portfolio. I hope that helps and that makes sense. Aya on Instagram asks me, did I always want to become an interior designer? The answer to that is actually no. I didn't always want to become an interior designer. When I was in high school, I really wanted to go into fashion. I knew I always wanted to do something creative, but at the time, I didn't even know that interior design existed as a career. And it was a profession that I had kind of stumbled into and fallen into. Ended up falling in love with it because I had grown up watching my dad build things, and I always really, really loved and had a passion for construction. So I've been able to create a really amazing career and build a company out of something that I am passionate about today. But the answer to your question is no, I didn't always know that I wanted to be an interior designer. And I would say, if I had to give you guys any advice, that you don't always have to know exactly what you want to do. I think when people say, follow your passion or find your passion and just do that, that can almost be a lot of pressure because not everybody knows what they're passionate about. And you certainly don't always know when you're in high school or in your 20s. It takes trial and error and time of trying different things, learning as you go, before you really stumble on something that you're truly, truly passionate about or something that you want to build a career in. So for any of you guys that are maybe undecided about what you want to do, I would say don't worry about it too much. There's no pressure. You can just try a whole bunch of different things and it will come. You'll discover it. You'll find out. By doing, you'll find out. So a question that came through on YouTube by Be Real, Be Genuine asks, what is my process for sales, marketing, and lead generation to find potential clients? Well, I just made 2 videos on that. So we will pop them up in the suggested video section. And I just did a really big talk on my process for sales, prospecting, and lead generation. So if you are interested in that, then I would highly recommend that you watch that video. Tanya Miller asks, this is a superficial question. Where do you get your jewelry and clothes? Well, Tanya, I do not think that's a superficial question. I think that's an awesome question. I mean, I shop in a lot of different places. Some of my favorite places to shop in Vancouver would be Aritzia, Nordstrom, Banana Republic. Actually, this jumper is from Banana Republic. I shop at Zara a lot, and Club Monaco is probably one of my favorite places to shop. Kim Marr from YouTube asks, how much did you budget for your townhouse renovation? Is there a formula to calculate your home value and reno expense? I did an entire episode on my home renovation budget. So if you guys want to see that or you're interested in that, then we will put up another suggested video so you can go and watch that. And when my home renovation is done, I will probably do a budget update just so that you guys can find out in the end how much everything cost. Angela from YouTube asks, hi Karin, how do you stay so incredibly focused and motivated? Can you share your life hacks for being such a driven person, or does it come natural for you? Do you ever feel down, and how do you pick yourself up? Angela, I love that question. And how do I stay so focused and motivated? I do have to say that I am naturally a very motivated and driven person. I definitely love to be busy, and I really get excited about challenging myself. I think that's probably the secret sauce as to why I've done so well in business and why I continue to do what I do, because I just truly, genuinely love the challenge of building something. I would definitely say that building a business is probably one of the hardest things, not probably, it is actually one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my entire life, and continues to be the hardest thing that I do in my life. Yes, building a business does get easier over time, but if you are always pushing to try to get to that next level, that next rung up the ladder, there's always challenges, and it's very difficult. But there's something about the challenge that I really love. So for me, overcoming obstacles, trying to solve problems, create solutions, and get to that next level is motivating in itself. So I don't really have a hard time staying focused and motivated. Yeah, it comes a little more naturally to me, but I will say that the times in my business when I feel like I haven't been really doing what I love to do, which is really working on the business, if I get too far away from that, then I do find it really demotivating. And in order to stay focused, what I need to do is usually step away from my business, go on vacation, take some time off, just pause. That way, a lot of clarity comes from space and time off and letting yourself rest. And usually I'll come back to my business with a renewed sense of enthusiasm. And for some reason, whenever I'm away on vacation, there's always lots of ideas and solutions that pop up into my head of problems that I've been trying to solve. So time off is a very good thing. Going back to Instagram, Aaron Riley 04 asks, if I could live in any other country, where would I live? Lots of love and support from Ireland. Ooh, well, my husband's Irish, so I love all you Irish people out there. If I could live in another country, where would I live? That is a very tough question to answer because I really love living in Canada. I've been super fortunate that I've been able to travel a lot. So I've been all over Europe and Asia, which has been amazing. I don't know if I would want to move from where I am right now, but I would love to open an office in Los Angeles. That would be kind of a pipe dream bucket list thing. I don't know if I would move to Los Angeles full time, but I would definitely love to go back and forth between LA and Vancouver. That'd be pretty cool. I'm gonna answer another question from Instagram, and this question comes from Marissa, and she asks, first of all, I want you to know that I'm a huge fan here in Portugal, so hi Portugal, and you are my biggest inspiration in pursuit of my dream of becoming an interior designer. Amazing, I love hearing that. She wants to ask, how can you put a price on your work as a designer? I mean, the commission that you have to receive for your time and effort. What are the criteria? Okay, Marissa, I get asked about pricing all the time. And here's the thing I have to say about pricing. Pricing is completely subjective. So there is no right or wrong answer to the way that you are going to price your fees. And what you need to do if you're struggling with pricing is figure out just how much you want to make and how much you think your time is worth, and then put a price together. I can't tell you you should charge X an hour or you should charge X a job. That's not how this works. You have to figure it out on your own. Again, this is trial and error. You do a job, you didn't make enough money, we'll charge more next time. You meet with a potential client and they decide not to hire you because your fee's too high. Well, that's great information for the next time that you're gonna go and meet with another potential client. The whole thing around pricing is totally trial and error, and it's up to you. It's up to you to decide how much you want to make, how you value yourself, what your expenses are, etc., etc. So I can't determine that for you. And for any of you guys who have been watching and you're curious about pricing, it really just comes down to that. You have to figure it out on your own. I wish I had a better answer for you, but that's the truth. It's the truth. You have to figure it out on your own. Another question from Instagram, Mac5186 says, is there any place for an internship in your firm? Currently, no, there's not a place for an internship, but down the road, there may be. So if you are interested in interning, or if anybody's interested in working with the House of Bohn, the way that you need to get a hold of us is through our website and by emailing stacy@houseofbohn.com. Okay, so going back to YouTube, this question comes from Rosie G, and she says, hi Karin, you've talked a lot about entrepreneurship and how that's simply about overcoming challenges over and over again. But we can also see that your business is growing and doing very well. She says, I know you experienced failure with a restaurant many years ago, but I would really be interested to know what the biggest challenges are that you feel you're facing right now, or some of the more recent setbacks that you've had and how you've overcome them. Well, Rosie, I feel like there's always challenges and obstacles when you are in business for yourself, always, constantly. I would say that my biggest challenge right now that I'm currently trying to overcome is going back to what I was saying before, wearing so many different hats in my business. Right now, it's a little too much of that. My biggest challenge is really removing myself in a great positive way from the very detailed hands-on work in my interior design team. So I'm looking to grow my interior design team. I really want to hire a lead designer, someone that reports to me and someone that can work with all of our clients. And I also really want to see my design team grow too. I want to see them be able to execute projects from start to finish with having me involved only in a very high level and without me doing so much of the detailed design work. And the reason for that is because I'm really keen on growing my business. I really want to start developing this product line and experimenting with that. I want to get some prints and wallpaper going, which you guys will see coming up soon on Bonafide. And there's other business interests that I have and that I want to pursue. And the only way to do that is to remove myself a little bit more from the hands-on day-to-day operation and design in my business. The thing that I've learned, you may know that I just celebrated 9 years in business, is that business is really just about challenges, like you say, and overcoming challenges. And as soon as you overcome one set of problems, there's always another set right on the heels of the last ones that you just solved. So I'm sure over the next few months, year, whatever that looks like, as I remove myself a little bit more from the design team, there's going to be a new challenge waiting for me right around the corner. You gotta love it. You gotta love the journey. You gotta love solving all of these problems and overcoming these challenges in order to do a really good job in your business. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna answer a few more questions. Before I do that, if you aren't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do that so that you don't miss any episodes. And if your notifications aren't on, make sure you turn that little notification bell on, because right now I'm posting a little irregularly. So every Monday at 6 a.m. and some Thursdays, but you wanna know when a new video goes live, so make sure you hit that notification button so that you know. Eileen from YouTube asks, hi Karin, I'll be very interested to know what your morning routine is. how do you get your engine started for the day? So Eileen, I am definitely going to be putting together a morning routine video because so many people are asking about that. The only thing is that I'm going to wait until my renovation is complete so that we can do a proper morning routine video in my house once it's done. But stay tuned because I will definitely do that video. And question for you, is there anything in particular that you want to know about my morning routine? Let me know. Like, is it beauty, how I get myself together? Is it what I eat? Is it just how I go through my morning? What do you want to know? Let me know. This comes from Mohammed on YouTube, and he asks, how can you make your own way or style in architecture or design? So I'm going to add to that question, architecture or design. So here's the thing. When you're starting out in your career, it's a natural process to want to imitate other people. You're always looking to other designers or architects. You've got role models that you might be looking at to kind of inspire and create your own style. That is very, very normal and natural at the beginning of anybody's creative career. Then as you start to master the skills and you start to gain more experience and get better at your craft, you go through a stage where you really want to then start to create your own voice. You want to have your own style. You want to have your own point of view as a creative person, as an architect, as a designer. And that stage really doesn't come along until you've had enough practice and experience of honing your own craft. How many years that takes is completely up to you. Some people might move through that very quickly. Some people might take a lot longer to develop their craft. I would say that something like architecture and design, it takes a long time before you start to build notoriety, before people really start to recognize you for your work. That's just the nature of this practice. And don't forget that, like I've said before, I've had my company for 9 years and I've been in the design industry for 12 years. So that's a long time to be doing what I'm doing. And a lot of you guys are just have just discovered my YouTube channel or have just found me in this last year. So if you think about that, you might have come across me really soon and it might seem like, you know, it's been like this forever, but it hasn't. I've been doing this for a really, really long time. So I would say be patient with your career and you will naturally start to develop your own voice and your own point of view once you really start mastering your craft. Okay, question from YouTube. Hoon says, are you married? Yes, I am married. And last question, Faith from YouTube says, hi Karin, what is the most valuable thing you've learned through your journey as a designer? P.S. I love your style. Thank you, Faith. I would have to say the most valuable thing that I've learned as a designer is that it really is a journey. It's a process. I had no idea that I would be where I am today 9 years ago when I started my business. There's still so much that I want to accomplish and so much that I want to do. So I'm excited for how the next phase and journey and adventure is going to unfold. I'm excited that you guys are here and along with me for this journey and that you've been so committed to watching all the videos. So thank you so much for that. And I would say specifically with design, I have definitely seen how my own style has evolved and changed and progressed over the last few years. The things that I hated sometimes really love and incorporate into my designs now, and there are things that I loved 9 years ago that I would never ever use again. So design really is a practice. It really is a craft. You don't come out of school and start designing things amazingly right away. It takes time to really hone that skill and build that craft, and it really evolves over the years. So again, for any of you guys that are on this journey or your own entrepreneurial journey, I would say just stay patient, keep at it, don't give up. Even when times get tough, really don't give up, keep going, and it will happen for you. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this Q&A. If you did, give me a thumbs up, smash that like button. And if you have a favorite part of today's video, let me know in the comments below. It's been a very busy time for me, so admittedly, I have not been responding to all of your comments, but I read all of them. I really do. I read all of them. I love reading them. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.